Okay. Again, cohesion is looking good. All of our numbers are looking good. German legitimacy and militarization are pretty low. JLO launches the Balintawak Blitz. Okay, so war is broken out in the Philippines. I don't think we can send a volunteer here. Maybe it will get like an event at some point, but not at the moment. How much supplies do we have? Oh, we're at 100? Excellent. I mean, we're entering winter again, so I think it makes sense that things are looking okay. Is there anything else we can do in here? Getting them more supplies. I'm not, again, our legitimacy is actually pretty decent. So I'm okay spending some basic points there. And green is already finished. We don't have to worry about that. We're not in purple yet, so we're only dealing with the red and the blue tree at the moment. Oh, we have no task force! We have no task force! God damn it. Okay. And there's still this special op mission. I don't know how to access it. Because there's not like a different there's a different thing here. 7 legitimacy is so expensive. Is it you? No, because I don't think this is political power, which is not really what I'm interested in. We're almost capped out for German information. Why is our legitimacy so low? I mean, I know we just spent some on those missions. I guess that's it, but so we do 2 of these missions. That'll actually boost that back up. And then what I want to do and I'm still in this, like, is there any reason to do this in our own territory? Like, supplies for legitimacy? Because it's 14. I mean, it's got a different name. Oh, is it longer? No, it's still 45 days. Am I missing something? Because if the mission's completed in a foreign territory, that territory will lose stats equal to half the amount gained by the initiator. Further details for all missions are shown in the button tooltip. The tiles themselves are considered controlled by nation if the nation occupies majority of the tile. Control the tile as well as any other tile types. Shown tile window. I don't know, like, looking at it, it doesn't seem like there's any reason to ever do anything within your own territory. Like, I don't know if I'm missing something. Let's see, like, does the AI do anything in her own land? Yeah, okay, Japan did something in her own territory. Who is purple? Is that Burgundy? Is Burgundy in Antarctica? Oh, no. Burgundy. Well, they're not listed here. Is it the Italians? And for some reason they're not giving green, they're giving purple? No. Do they have any territory on the map? Because there's Italy in green. We're looking for a purple tile. I mean, I don't see one. So maybe Burgundy has access to this minigame even though they don't control any land, which is kind of funny. Because you're 14. I mean, there are different missions, but Okay, wait, but this province doesn't have the supply or legitimacy for... Because this one does. Or no, legitimacy or supplies for legitimacy, survey territory. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, well, we can spend the supplies. And again, this doesn't spend instantly, which is kind of interesting. It only spends after. Yeah, it spends a supply at the end, which is very interesting that they do it that way. Okay. See, this one also doesn't have... This one has update terrain maps. This one doesn't. So I don't know. Let's update terrain maps somewhere. Well, this even maybe does something different. I don't know. And that costs us political power, which I'm not too worried about. Okay, and there is war in Dominican Republic, but that's not really within our purview. The mercenary symphony. There was a calm. Not living under the hooked cross of Germany had felt its sting. No, okay. Not all living under the hooked cross of Germany has felt its sting. Thus, life continued all the same for the quaint little Birchmark village straddled on the east of the island. There was much to be grateful for. Neglect or malice had wiped out other settlements in the last 20 years. They were lucky to have only lost someone to disease and to the Vichy French plantations. Life went on. Subsistence fishing continued, just as did the planting season. All while children and the sound of accordions resounded through the air. But the elders knew better. Their minds sang a darker song of the inevitability of their oppressor's return. No matter what ethos or flag it came draped in, eventually a firm boot would be placed upon once again on their throats. And they were right. That day, the French flag, marked with the cross of Lorraine, was visible on the horizon. Without preparation or consideration, the village was rounded up, men, women, and children, screaming and pleading. They were marched hundreds of miles to a replacement village deeper in OFN territory, away from the reach of the CPS or the Pact. Many would die, the old, the hungry, the grieving. Those away, planting or fishing, they would return to a husk of a home, and it did not linger. The crocodiles would be revered and fed zebu no more. The lemurs screamed, and the warnings of predators fell silent and unheeded. Now they watched, silent, idle. The new village would not be the same, for the inseparable people had been broken. Severed from their land, their community, and spirituality, they had only one song left, the sound of nothingness. So is OFN here now? That's the rebellion. These are all German territories. I mean, I don't see where not Japan, where, hey, Cody, how are you? There's nowhere Japan is, unfortunately. You must really like this game? That's okay. On the way. Another day came and went, and Rip Robertson and Grayson Lynch were up in the air in a nondescript plane again. It was not towards, but away from Antarctica. Quite far away, actually. Their duties were sending them to the Philippines. A locale was questionably within the Rip's purview. Returning U.S. control over the Philippines had two avenues of approach, Rip reasoned. One way was through the remnants of the U.S. forces in the Philippines, which could certainly use some support in their efforts to seize control of the South. Another avenue was to sabotage the weak and increasingly half-hearted KALIH-ABPI government as they struggled through the vicissitudes of governance. Robertson and the MACA-SOG felt both were worth pursuing. Their mission aimed to do just that. As the plane touched down, the two CIA men reached for their hip flask and took a deep swig. Hard work was ahead, and they would see it done, one way or another. To the freedom of the Philippines. We can now send one volunteer to the All-Filipino Revolutionary Socialist Republic. So I'm guessing this gave me a second division, which is nice. And vengeance. Rear Admiral Reborn snapped wide awake at the first knock of his door. Like many naval veterans, he acquired the ability to fall fast asleep at once and awaken twice as fast. A moment, he called, putting on his slippers. He answered the door in his pajamas. Reedy, what can I do for you? Marshal the divisions. Get ready to sail for the Philippines, Reedy said. Reborn blinked. What? No tea? No coffee? I'm being serious, sir. The opportunity has been waiting for us to reinforce our men in the Philippines that arrived. The papers are calling it the Balintawak Blitz. It seems that Japanese forces and collaborators on the island have momentarily lost organizational cohesion, and ships can get through. Guerrilla warfare has erupted through the countryside. In short, chaos reigns, and we have a chance to avenge the losses of the last war. Reborn had drifted to his nightstand and was fixing a pot of coffee. It's going to be a long night, then. Best fuel up. How do you propose we proceed? Our fast reaction forces could be deployed there via airlift in a few days. Perhaps, provided that we could give the order within the next 24 hours. Our forces could be to assist by the end of the week. What about ripping the CIA? Are they on the ground yet? Your guess is as good as mine. It's not easy getting the answer out of those spooks, but I doubt they'll sit this one out. Agreed. Yours is given. Let's get our boys the support that they need. Ice Castle. Okay. So again, we have 6 points. You'll be done in 3 days. You'll be done in 9 days, and we can send 1 volunteer. So I'm assuming, do we have 2 now? We do. Are you the same? Yeah, you're okay. You're identical. So let's send one of our volunteers over to the AFRSR. Send those volunteers. They're not assigned to an army, so actually you can't deploy them yet. Okay, we'll assign you here. We'll assign you there. That all looks nice and happy. And we'll send our first volunteer over. I don't think we have a field marshal, so that doesn't really do anything for us. And at some point, this is going to explode. I just don't know when that's going to be. You owe me 20 bucks. What did you just send over the fax? It's verified, right? The voice on the line must have started yelling because Takai could hear the screams from across the room. All right, I get it. Fuck off. Simon hung up the phone, frustrated. Before Takai could open his mouth, Simon spoke. I owe Matthew 20 bucks. He was right that shit would go down after the Suda crisis. Gotta do this a bulletin. I can't deal with this right now. Sorry, Taika. Simon stomped out of the room, and Taika was alone, sighing. Grabbed the papers and started the broadcast. Good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock local time. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special news bulletin. Last night, Filipino guerrillas and the American GIs initiated what is now being called the Balintawak Blitz. The recent economic instability caused by the Suda crisis had led to far-reaching effects across the coastal security sphere. Many revolts previously in hiding are seeing this as an opportunity to strike. Despite being ideologically opposed, Louis Tarak and Louis Tarak have put aside their differences to drive out the common foe. Many years ago, as the Americans retreated from the Philippines, Douglas MacArthur swore that he would return. Taika took in a deep breath, coming up with an elegant line for the airways. May the hands of fate make good on that promise. Okay. I like how I just put the same name in there twice. That's fine. Additional options available for the Iceman missile project, INS and IBM. The Inertial Navigation System, or INS, created for Project Iceman, was, in a word, nightmare. Created to guide rockets via a combination of accelerometers and gyroscopes, the INS allowed a rocket to take off, arc through the upper atmosphere, and use dead reckoning to ensure that it landed somewhere near its target. Mitch Cooper, the computer scientist in charge of designing and tuning the system, had his work cut out for him. He had been told that the rocket had a polar launch site, but neither where the site was located, nor what the nearest target would be. Coincidentally, he had also had to design a variable system that could work as well in Alaska as it did in Iceland, which could calibrate right up to launch to adapt to its new target. Are we sure it's not too heavy? Cooper's assistant, High Treasurer explained. I don't care, Cooper snapped. I honestly don't care. They really giving us anything to work off of. If the piece of shit exceeds their lift capacity, that's their problem. What if we're born asked for redesign? Tell IBM to give us some more information next time. Their MIRVs might be able to work out in a vacuum, but we can't. Good one, boss man. Okay, so I'm assuming we have completed this section now. I don't know. Maybe it's you that was completed. I'm not too sure. 100%. You're all looking fine. Stage 1, Stage 2. Is this all the same? Yeah, okay, so these are all in the same kind of like category. Makes sense. Seems reasonable. 50 political power. It sounds like a lot. Yeah, we're still looking pretty good. I really want to see what we can do against the Germans. I think we can do something there. Better red than a puppet. It had seemed that Morgan, it seemed to Morgan that his assignment at McMurdo Station had been a punishment. But the CIA colleagues that cared little about whatever his sympathies for Mitchell Werbel were. Instead, his superiors were more interested in having him undertake missions and directed the plans would not approve. But it wasn't like he would care. We're fighting a war, we're trying to win it, said Rip. Down with the bureaucrats, he couldn't have agreed more. And there he was, ready to take off in a small helicopter that would fly him to one of the RF's secret bases. In a meeting no one would have allowed in the CIA. Allying with the Reds was against the official foreign policy of the CIA that it had laid down, fearing that such an ideology would soon take over the rest of the world. In a sense, they're right, Morgan thought. Yet war made strange bedfellows, and Rip thought that it was better to keep an eye on the Reds and help them do some damage to the Japanese rear while we were at it. The flight wasn't very long. From one of Rip's airstrips he retained in Australia, his helicopter didn't have much range, but it was not a problem. He could always fly to the US FIP and tell some lie to explain what he was doing there. When the helicopter touched to the ground, somewhere amidst the thick layers of the jungle, Morgan knew that he was under suspicious scrutiny. No one trusted him, and he didn't trust any of the commies either. He got out, walked to the half-buried bunker where he was expected to attend a meeting, but was suddenly stopped by a menacing guard. He shouted incomprehensibly at him, raising his hand slowly in the air. He was relieved to hear a grunted voice, hinted with a heavy accent. Say something inside the bunker. Let him in! We're waiting for you, Mr. Morgan. When does our troops arrive? They'll be there on the 9th, so we got a few more days until they're ready to go. A brief meeting. A very good morning to the OFN Antarctic Administration. It's 8 a.m. local time, and we have a special guest for you guys. Say hello, Richie. Simon stepped back and let the guest give a casual greeting to the radio. Now, Richie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you volunteered to show up this morning? Sure thing. My name is Richie Barles, and I am one of the science team studying horticulture in extreme environments. Now, as for why I'm here today, I'm a proud Dominican American, and I'm here to tell you all about these things going on in my homeland. Simon took a step back and flashed a thumb up to the guests, and the floor was his. Well, it's probably been relegated to the back pages, but an invasion of the Dominican Republic is underway. The past 30 years have been a republic in name only. Rafael Trujillo, the current dictator, has spent his time pursuing a policy of blanquecimiento, inviting Iberians to immigrate, while also kicking out darker-skinned people. In fact, to give you an idea of how bad it was, Blanquecimiento is the reason why my parents barely bat an eye when they are harassed, because they live through worse back home. Ruchi stared at a piece of paper, glancing at the bullet points, which brings us to the current state of affairs. Trujillo relied on the Iberian Union to provide economic assistance. However, the class of triumvirate has forced Iberia to turn inwards and contend with domestic issues, leaving Trujillo out in the open, with a very, very pissed off United States. Richie took a deep breath. That brings us to the Caribbean Legion, made up of Dominican exiles in America. Now, that's a long and short of it. My friend Simon here is to keep you updated, and with any luck, we'll be partying like it's New Year's. And the red air light has blinked off. Fantastic. Hire pirates. Oh, we can actually do stuff in the execution phase now as well. Why don't we have 58 points? I think we're going to wait on you just a little bit. Go to manpower. We get a shipment. 60 for... Okay, let's hire some pirates. I want to get those points in here immediately. Army experience still kind of seems garbage. I don't know why you would need it. But I will be back quickly. Yeah, I'll be back in a quick sec. I need to fill up my water pitcher. Let me just throw this on here. Okay. I'll put that to the side for a second. Okay, so our volunteers will be in the Philippines very, very, very soon. mean, it seems like the Japanese government is already basically collapsed. I don't know. Like it looks really bad for them. It looks like it's not gonna be a fun time. Because you're not encircled. I mean, it looks like it, but you're not quite. These guys their models are glitching out a little bit. I'm not gonna worry about that at all. Bomb Indonesia. One war at a time, okay? One war at a time. You're not a victory point. Where's your current capital? It's in Manila. Okay, the cat cannot be on the desk. That's not allowed right now. So I guess we'll station you right here. I think that seems okay. Liberals have retained power in Canada. And that's also fine. A stroke. In Bacnaz, the city under the Second Philippine Republic, Francisco Reyes, a mid-ranking bureaucrat, wipes his brow of sweat as he returned to his office in the city after a brisk walk. Things were all right, Reyes thought, even if Calbapi was bungling the work of governance as usual. Of course, that was not really all that much Of course, there was not really all that much Reyes, could do about it. But there was an envelope on his desk of a sort that he'd never seen before. What the hell was it? Opening it, Reyes' first question was, Why are there pictures of me and my son heading to school? Quickly hiding the images, he looked further into the envelope and turned cold when he read what it said. What do you do? You do well to cooperate. Arrive at blank plaza at blank blank blank. Provide suitable sensitive documents. With such a threat levied against his progeny, what choice did Reyes have but to comply? Hell yeah. I love blackmail. Manpower is 200. We get a shipment, identity theft, penetrate Japanese command. But I think Japan's already doing, like, poorly, right? Smuggle firearms. Oh, we actually can't do this anymore because we're on the next stage. I guess we'll penetrate Japanese command next. I think that seems okay. Okay. Familiar plans. I want to charter a mission. Hillary looked up, surprised clear in his expression. Lois stared back, chest puffed and stocky shoulders set. She knew she was going to be fighting an uphill battle to succeed, so she was approaching this like a soldier marching to war. I certainly didn't expect this, but I'm open to the idea. What sort of mission are you seeking and why? Well, I've been in contact with some colleagues throughout the OFN. She began to her prepared speech. There are plenty of scientists interested in doing work down here, and many are even specializing in Antarctic research. Seems only natural that we were given an opportunity to study on site. You make good points. I've told Reborn the same when inviting those I'm advocating for. Hillary stopped. His forehead creaked in the thought. I'll bring this up to him myself. I will need names, though. You have a short list? Lois took a deep breath. This was a make or break moment in this conversation. I do a few. How do Sienna Prince, Alexander Scott, and Bonnie Porter sound? She quiet as she recounted the names, clearly apprehensive about Hillary's response. He gave her a slight conspiratorial smile before responding. Yes, they would work perfectly. I'll talk to the Vice Admiral tomorrow about your plans. He won't like it, but I think your outstanding performance thus far should assuage the U.S. Navy enough that he backs down. And if not, there are ways of forcing his hand. Either way, I look forward to seeing his face when he hears through these names. He let out a short laugh, leant back, and offered Lewis some bourbon. Now then, did I tell you what I did to get him to agree to your presence? By the way, do we have slots here? We have 2 available to us. These will be done in 29 days. Our legitimacy is still pretty bad, but I think all of you are legitimacy bonuses, if I remember correctly. So if that's the case, I mean, we have supplies.